Kia ora, hello, and welcome to Anyway, the podcast where I unpack the chaos of reality TV. I am your host, Natalie McMurray, coming to you from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Today, we will get to the bottom of who wrote this damn note. Let's get into House of Villains, Episode 4. We find ourselves still in the stronghold. Bobby wants to know if we're done here. The producer is all, no, we're not. Bobby storms off anyway. He's fucking pissed. He's gonna make Banana's life a living hell. He walks out and starts cooking for everyone. Okay. Turns out Bobby likes to cook to relieve stress. Who knew? Everyone comes out, and Tiffany is confused as to why Bananas would put Anfisa up. Because he spent this whole time professing his love for White Russians. That was his joke, not mine. Anyway, it would not surprise me in any way, shape, or form if Bananas were the type of man to neg a woman to get her to like him. Anfisa thinks it's because she rejected him. Also possible. Then we find out that this motherfucker, Johnny Bananas, devised an evil plot. He's behind the note. And there's more where that came from. He has a whole fucking stack of these things. I'm perplexed. I'm still not sure what the note had to do with the blind side. What point did it serve to fake out putting up Corinne, but ultimately put up Bobby? I feel like I'm missing something. Apparently, according to Corinne, she's just pretending to be ditzy, you guys. But she's actually sharp as a tack and 10 steps ahead of everyone. Then why did you freak out about the fucking note, Corinne? Please. Honestly, you sound more stupid when you say things like that. Upstairs, Fairplay and Omarosa are celebrating not being the biggest villains on the show for once. Fairplay is loving the fact that Bananas didn't even consider putting him up. Also, has anyone else noticed that Johnny Fairplay only wears t-shirts with himself on them? That's a pretty specific type of narcissism. Very on brand. Anyway, they're planning on bringing Bananas down. Downstairs, Bobby is still cooking lasagna and crashing the fuck out. He's pissed that Tanisha is outside kissing Banana's ass. We then see Tanisha telling Bananas that she's probably one of the only people that he can trust in the house. And that they're homies because they're roomies. In a testimonial, Bobby tells us that cooking actually is a form of therapy for him. He talks about how growing up they didn't have much, but his mum taught him how to cook and would always have a hot meal for them. As I've said before, cooking is king on reality shows where people live together. And if it gives you some much needed stress relief at the same time, that's what we call killing two birds with one stone. You cook your little heart out, Bobby. Tanisha and Bananas come into the kitchen and ask if they can partake in the lasagna. Lucky for them, even though Bobby has the right to be a petty ass bitch, in this moment he's not. He's feeding the people. We love to see it. Although Bananas may want someone to taste test his food in the future. Bobby is heading off upstairs and saying goodnight with a full can of Red Bull. Is he planning on drinking that right before getting into bed? I then spot that Omarosa also has a can of Red Bull. How the fuck do people drink caffeine right before sleeping? I can't drink caffeine after like 11 a.m. And even before that, it's touch and go. I know that makes me sound like a grandma. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. One espresso martini on the night out, and it's likely I won't sleep. Anyway, Bobby is ranting and raving at Bananas about how he does not want to speak to him. He's staring right at him, basically saying, I never want to look at your face again. Bobby is right up in those feelings. New York is upstairs talking to Corinne. She's wondering if Bananas needs more scolding before bedtime. She thinks yes. She saunters downstairs to let Bananas know that he's an amphibian reptile motherfucker. New York is telling him that she's going to outlast him in this game. Bananas responds with, one of us is up for elimination and the other one is holding all the power. When are these supervillains of the week going to realize that you actually don't have any power after you've put people up? You have no way of controlling who wins the redemption challenge, and you can't vote between the remaining two on the hit list. It could be argued that you had the least amount of power at that point, actually. The next morning, Anfisa is trying her hand at being a fake-ass bitch. She's kissing Shake's ass. Turns out she's terrible at it. But Shake is still enjoying the attention. Such as men. We then cut to Bobby, New York, and Anfisa walking into an interview room. Turns out they're doing their redemption challenge in secrecy. They're handed a tablet with Joel on it. He tells them to read the envelope for the rules of the challenge. I don't really understand what the point of that was. But anyway, the challenge is called Hidden Agenda. They have a list of tasks that they need to complete over the next 4 hours without the other villains suspecting anything. Bowie is cursing himself for cursing everyone else out last night because he needs everyone's help to fulfill the tasks. New York comes out to Fairplay and Bobby playing cornhole. She wants to show Fairplay the healing powers of rubbing your belly and patting your head. Her first task. Ding! Bobby is then demanding a shoulder massage. His first task. Ding! And Fisa uses her wily ways to get Shake to make her a smoothie. Ding! Her first task complete. In the kitchen, New York tells Bananas he looks like a complete piece of shit in his outfit today. And Bobby wants him to know that his breath smells terrible. Ding ding! Task complete. Seeing that everybody is being mean to Bananas, Anfisa takes the opportunity to complete another task. She gives Bananas a 20-second hug. He's trying to do the 1, 2, 3 tap to get out of the hug and make a bagel. Luckily for New York, Corinne will do whatever the fuck she asks her for. She wants Corinne to make her scrambled egg whites. Corinne does so and brings them up on a plate. But they need to be in a bowl. Tiffany tells her so because her OCD is kicking in. Outside, Bobby is trying out his acting skills again. He pretends to twist his ankle and spill his margarita all over Shake. Ding! Bobby's loving the challenge. Tiffany comes out and cracks open a beer. She tries a little too hard to spill it on Fairplay, and he's suspicious as fuck. In another scene upstairs, Tiffany is now getting Corinne to have a dance party with her. Ding! And Fisa is trying to convince Bananas to wear Shake's cologne. Bananas is all gross. No fucking way. Womp womp. That's a fail. Outside, Bobby is on the grill. He convinces Shake to do a handstand. Ding! Fairplay is sitting back and enjoying the show. He's clocked the redemption challenge. And he's pulling Bananas for a chat to tell him about it. So now they're in prime position to help out the villain, who they want to stay, complete their tasks. We see that it's 1 hour until the challenge is over. New York is now trying to persuade Fairplay to jump in the pool. And he ain't having a bar of it. He's now trying to sabotage her. No, you're sabotage. Okay, anyway. Anfisa is now using her bikini body to get Bananas to make her a burger. She squirts ketchup all over his crotch. Dang! Shake is pissed. He's all, not my sweet Anfisa. And now Bananas is licking ketchup off her feet. Gross! Bobby is trying to convince the people that he's psychic by saying, I feel like something's about to happen. Bobby, even if you weren't already privy to the information that a guest was going to show up, you're on a reality show. Of course something's going to happen. It would be pretty boring otherwise. We see someone rolling up the driveway on a motorized scooter. Tanisha opens the door and says, oh, that's my homie. It's Abby Lee Miller from Dance Moms. Is that her homie? I don't know. Honestly, Abby Lee Miller may be the biggest villain they've had on this show. Not only does she have a penchant for screaming at young children about their appearance and how shit they are at dancing, but she went to prison for bankruptcy fraud. And I can't stop thinking about how much she reminds me of Eric Cartman. Anyway, Abby says she's here to tell the villains that the people up on the hit list are going to learn a choreographed dance. Bananas is about to celebrate, and Abby Lee is like, you better hold the fuck up, because it's now for everybody else to do an improv dance. Bobby is laughing, and Abby tells them, LOL, the challenge is actually already done. You're all idiots. Abby announces Bobby is the winner of the redemption challenge. Bobby tells Bananas to suck it. He thanks everyone for the idiots that they are. Redemption! New York and Anfisa are still up. Later on, we see Omarosa, Tanisha, and Anfisa campaigning in the pantry, which honestly seems like the worst place to talk. In a tiny room where people visit often, and you have no way of knowing when someone's about to come in. Come on, guys. Upstairs, New York is giving Shake her word that she would save him if he were up. Later on downstairs, Shake is talking to Anfisa, which seemingly goes nowhere. He calls Anfisa a honeypot. She is a honeypot who's doing nothing for herself. Shake decides he'll save New York. Omarosa is trying to feel out how the house is going to vote. She's on a political trail. She wants to save Anfisa, but doesn't want to be an outlier when it comes to voting. Corinne is grossing everyone out who's watching by telling Bananas she's horny. He's not grossed out. He thinks it's hilarious. And he's letting her know this by laughing straight in her face. Yikes. The next morning, Omarosa is trying to convince Corinne to go against New York. Bing, bong, bing! Eva comes over the loudspeaker and tells the people they're going bowling. Bananas is looking forward to a day off. I love how Omarosa keeps telling people she votes with the house, but she's also the one trying to control everyone's vote. That's not voting with the house, Omarosa. That's getting everyone else to do what you want. Which, if you can do successfully, I actually respect that. She's now telling Tanisha that she wants New York to stay. Tanisha is confused as fuck, and so am I. I'm now unsure how good Omarosa actually is at manipulation. Tanisha says she's going to vote in her best interest. She doesn't want to scheme anymore. And now, for some reason, Johnny Fairplay is crying about pinball. Question mark? What the fuck is happening? There's no crying in pinball, Fairplay. Bananas is questioning how Fairplay passed the psych test to get into the house. And I'm now questioning how any of these people passed the psych test to get in here. Anyway, Bobby is now telling Omarosa to stay out of Tanisha's business. Now Omarosa wants to do the exact opposite. New York is pissed because she thinks it's clear that Tanisha wants her to go. She says to Tanisha, if you want to vote for me, just say so. And honestly, if she didn't want to before, I'm sure she does now. Tanisha is calling Tiffany a weirdo. And she is a weirdo. The best kind of weirdo. She starts singing, that I am, and doing a funny dance. Bananas wants to know if these people can conduct themselves in public. Please. The answer is no, which he already knows. Tanisha is walking off and yelling, you're washed, you're cooked. Back at the mansion, New York is letting us know that the HBIC does not go for the pity vote. Bing bong! Time for the banishment ceremony. Everybody gathers in the stronghold. Bananas takes his seat. New York and Anfisa go up onto the stage and stand in front of the flip-back chairs. Joel asks Anfisa if she has anything to say. We see that she's been coached by Omarosa, and she pretty much says verbatim what Omarosa told her to. New York, she tells the people she wants no sympathy vote and that they need to know the pecking order. Lol. Definitely not doing her any favors. Omarosa is now questioning New York on whether she wants her vote or not. To which New York responds, Omarosa, I find you to be a cock-sucking, cum-guzzling Republican cunt. Wow. Oh my God. It doesn't get any better. Everyone is gagged. Tiffany wants her to know she gets more beauty rest knowing that Omarosa is not in the White House, which is totally fair enough. Time to vote. New York and Anfisa are strapped to their seats. Votes are in with a vote of 4-2. Second person banished is New York. Corinne voted against her, which is a bummer. Joel asks Tiffany for last words. She screams, fuck you all, you sons of bitches. And with that, Bananas sends her flying. The people are celebrating and Bobby wants them to know that they're all fake as fuck. Pretty much everyone on reality TV is Bobby. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for listening. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.